The generative AI myth debunked. The AI revolution will automate everything. Or will it? Right now, the world is absolutely buzzing about generative AI. You really can't escape it. It's on the news, it's in your social media feed, and honestly, your weird uncle is probably trying to use it to write his next self-published sci-fi novel about sentient hamsters. The sales pitch is, well, pretty intoxicating. We're told that these powerful systems are here to take over all the boring, repetitive drudgery of our jobs. Just think of it. No more filling out the same spreadsheet every week, no more writing the same boilerplate emails, no more mind-numbing data entry. An army of digital assistants, ready to do our bidding with perfect, tireless consistency. This is the myth that's being sold to us by every tech CEO with a new pair of sneakers and a desire to see their company's stock price rocket. The promise is that these tools are masters of repetition. But here's the thing, and it's a big one. That's not actually what generative AI is good at. In fact, it's actively bad at it. The very thing we're told AI will save us from, boring, repetitive work, is its Achilles heel. So, let's pull back the curtain on this supposed technological marvel. Next topic. The problem with robots that can't remember the script. So why is generative AI so terrible at doing the same thing over and over? The answer lies in a single, slightly nerdy word, non-deterministic. It sounds complicated, but the concept is actually quite simple. It means that for the same input, the system isn't guaranteed to give you the same output every time. Think of it like a jazz musician. You can give them the same sheet music, but they're going to improvise a little differently each time they play it. But it's a complete disaster if you need someone to play the exact same 3 notes for a doorbell sound effect. Generative AI is a jazz musician, not a metronome. This creativity is built into its very core. These models are designed to predict the next word in a sentence based on probabilities. There isn't one single correct next word, but a whole universe of possibilities, each with a different likelihood on it. The AI is programmed to introduce a bit of randomness or temperature into its choices to avoid sounding robotic and repetitive. This is precisely why it can generate such interesting and novel content. But it's also why it can't be trusted with tasks that demand absolute, unwavering consistency. Let's imagine a simple, real-world example. Say you ask an AI to write a standard 2-sentence legal disclaimer for your company's emails. You will get different wording each time you give the AI the same instruction. So, if it's dreadful at repetition, what is generative AI actually good for? Well, it turns out it's a fantastic one-hit wonder. It excels at the first attempt, the blank page, the brand new idea. This is where its non-deterministic nature becomes a superpower. A new marketing slogan, a draft for a blog post, a creative solution to a problem you've never faced before. The magic happens on that initial prompt. If you don't like that first answer and you hit regenerate, you start to see diminishing returns. It's like asking a comedian to tell the same joke again, but funnier. The first attempt flowed from the prompt. Subsequent attempts often feel forced, derivative, or just plain weird. Each regeneration is another roll of the dice. Another spin of the probabilistic wheel. It's like trying to photograph a lightning strike. The first flash is spectacular. If you miss it, the next may be in a different spot or less bright. If any of this frantic excitement around a new, poorly understood technology sounds familiar, it should, because honestly, we have been here before, and very recently. Just a few years ago, the conversation was exactly the same, but the buzzword was blockchain. We were told blockchain and cryptocurrencies were going to revolutionize everything. Finance, art, supply chains, voting, and probably even the way you order a pizza. It was a solution in search of a problem wrapped in a thick layer of impenetrable jargon and pushed by people who stood to make a lot of money from the hype. The parallels are honestly stunning. What we got, for the most part, was a speculative, wildly volatile casino, a series of embarrassing scams, and a collection of digital monkey pictures that people paid millions for. The actual practical business applications that provided real, tangible value were few and far between. Now look at the discourse around generative AI. And just like with crypto, a significant portion of this hype seems driven less by a desire to solve real-world problems, and more by a desire to drive up stock valuations and secure the next round of funding. Now, this is not to say that generative AI is useless. Unlike blockchain, which has struggled to find a killer app beyond financial speculation, AI has clear, immediate uses, which we've already discussed. So, where does this leave us, standing in the shadow of this towering monument of AI hype? It leaves us with a critical job: to be skeptical, not cynical, mind you. There's a difference. Cynicism dismisses everything, while skepticism questions everything. We need to stop taking the breathless pronouncements of tech billionaires at face value and start asking hard questions. When someone tells you that AI is going to do X, Y, and Z, the correct response is not wow, but how and why. And can you show me a working example that isn't a carefully curated demo? We must learn to look past the flashy promises and search for the practical, boring, real-world applications. Is this tool actually making a specific task easier, faster, or better? Or is it just creating new, more complicated problems? Don't be dazzled by a machine that can write a sonnet about a toaster. Instead, be impressed by a tool that can reliably and accurately summarize a 10-page report into 3 bullet points every single time. The real revolution won't be flashy, it will be functional. It will be found in the mundane, not in the magical. The lesson here is to be a discerning consumer of technology. Treat the hype around AI like you would any other advertisement. It's designed to sell you something, a product, an idea, a vision of the future. It is not an objective truth. Think for yourself, experiment with these tools, but do so with a critical eye. You might find that generative AI is a fantastic brainstorming assistant but a terrible administrative clerk, and that's a perfectly valid and useful conclusion. We need to demand real value, not just novelty, because right now, what generative AI actually does is far more limited, and frankly, far more interesting than the myths we're being sold.